All right, I'm here with someone who is a familiar face and voice to the podcast. You've been on a few times over the past couple of years, and this is kind of a special episode in that we're talking about an upcoming event. And you're actually not the guest on this episode. I have interviews with a bunch of other artists who are all taking part in this event. So I think the best way to kick this off is if you want to introduce yourself and just give a bit of background about the event and what's happening next month.
100%. So my name is Ezoman. I am a musician. I am also the owner of Creative Side Entertainment Group, which is located in Winnipeg, Manitoba. We are actually an agency, and we're very passionate into helping, Canadian artists. And when I'm talking about artists, I'm not just talking about music. I'm talking about everything that is embedded in arts. So we very passionate into helping Canadian and artists to be able to take that route of deciding to become what they've been dreaming of becoming. And we try to do everything we can to support their music or their dance or their arts in different ways. So last year was our first launch of one of the biggest events. It's called the Future of Music. And we ran that program for 5 months. And it was a very, very successful program. The winner at the end of the idea, because the idea itself is to gather financial some finances for these artists to be able to invest into their craft. They
Okay.
can use the money to go into the studio. They can use the money to shoot the music video. They can use the money to promote their music or whatever. So basically, we put the show together, and all the money that we get, we gather together. We give it to the artists at the end, whoever wins. So the template is like a competition template. It's like a versus. You see, like I don't know if you're familiar with battle rap, how they
Sure.
do battle rap.
Yep. Yep.
So that's an old style of doing music. That's how usually people used to do it in hip hop industry. And now there's this new way of doing it. We don't want just somebody to be there speaking or talking on top of the beat about something, about somebody, or start insulting people. We wanted actually to promote art instead. We want to promote their albums. So every single artist that is part of this project is supposed to have an album, and is supposed to have even an EP or very original songs, because those are the songs that are going to be performed during the event. And then whoever artist that actually pleases the audience with their arts and the craft, the audience going to vote, and then they move up to the next level, which is going to be final. So we are going to use the same template for this year, Future of Music.
How did these artists that are involved in this get chosen? Did they submit to participate in this, or did you find them, and how did they get involved?
Some artists actually contacted me, and like I spend my time most of the time going to shows, promoting artists, and showing love to fans and stuff like that. And with that, I get a chance to meet a lot of people and a lot of artists. And the Future of Music last year, a lot of people watched it because we're coming out of the pandemic, and I think it was one of the projects that actually kind of opened up a new door for artists to be able to showcase their talents. We put up those 5 showcases for them, and a lot of people that watch the previous artists that actually participated in, they were just like, oh, this is cool. I want to be part of this. It's not only just being there to be showcased or being there to be promoted, but also we're giving you a template to sell your merchandise. And also at the end of the showcases, the winner, the first 4, we usually crown the first 4. Like last year, for example, the first winner won $2,000. The second place won $800. The
Okay.
third one $300, and the fourth one we usually put a package. Like it can be like a studio mic, or it can be like a something that you can use in your live performances or in your studio. So we try to actually answer the answer to artists that are in need of something, and that's where we try to answer their need.
And so the first event as part of this months long journey of events is happening very soon. What are the details on the first one?
Well, it's the Future of Music 2023. It's happening at the same place, 31 St. Mary's Road. Limelight
Okay.
Is our partner. So Creative Side Entertainment Group and Limelight, we put all this project together to be able to do it again. Doors will be opening at 8:30. The first event for this year, Future of Music, is happening May 25th. And it's gonna be every last Thursday of every month from May to September. We're gonna be hosting 4 artists, and we're gonna be giving them a platform to showcase their music, to sell their merchandise, and also to have a chance to win a grand prize. So basically, it's something that actually we found out was needed for the city and was needed for the artists too, because at one point we all have that fear of pushing ourselves to the limit. We're all living into this existence, but sometimes we have to be mindful of what's going on, what are we doing in our lives. And that's why we wanted to challenge the artists and to tell them, hey, this is happening now. This might be your moment. Let's go get it and push your art to the next level. So that's the drive behind it.
Sure. My name is Mikey, or people know me as Eagle Owl on the Winnipeg scene. I do hip hop, rap, and also like Christian hip hop, R&B kind of music and everything, trying to get my foot in the door in the music scene, and been doing a little bit various shows in the network and everything. So yeah, I've been doing this about maybe 3 years, 2 years or so, but just before the pandemic, about 2019 is when I just put my foot in the door for music. But yeah.
Okay, well, that was kind of what my next question was going to be too. Is how long you've been doing it? Because a lot of people who are involved in this show that's coming up are new up and coming artists who are sort of trying to get themselves out there and get their name out there. So, at what point did you sort of decide this was the path you wanted to take, that you wanted to pursue music?
It was interesting how I started pursuing music. I just was talking to someone the other day on how I first started. Was just I made a song about someone that ghosted me at the bar, basically. And that's how I just basically started up my music career and everything. So that was back in 2018. And then just after that, I released an EP. And then did a show after that. Was pretty okay, well received and everything. And then just recently, just back in January, I just did a show in the Pyramid. So just 2 shows in my belt and everything. And now we're just starting to get momentum in the Winnipeg scene. So yeah.
What was it like trying to start? I mean, like you said, you sort of launched this right as the pandemic was happening. That's obviously got to throw a wrench into your your plans to get yourself out there as an artist. How did that affect sort of the whole idea of publicly making music?
It was interesting because publicly, like I was also looking at different artists in the scene as well. And in general, a lot of artists, mainly in the Winnipeg hip hop, rap, artistry and everything, started mainly in the pandemic. And I saw a lot of these upcoming rappers and everything trying to get their foot in the door. And it's been tough, honestly. Like the amount of Winnipeg rappers in the scene are diverse and everything. So it is very hard, but also it's fun. That's the main thing I'm getting out of this thing.
So, yeah, I mean that's a good way to approach it too. Is that you're going to enjoy it rather than, I mean, I'm sure you're taking it seriously, but to have that element of just enjoying it rather than being super hardcore about it being a business or whatever. Like that's what you need, I think.
I get that. Like for instance, if you want to make it in this industry, yeah, for sure, you got to go hardcore into it. But for me, I'm just having fun with it, enjoying the moments that I get out of it, and we'll see how it comes about with it.
Well, one of the things you mentioned sort of off the top, and I've seen it in your bio and everything too, is that you one of the genres that you work with is Christian rap. And I, as someone who doesn't listen to Christian rap at all, I think that maybe there's a perception, and maybe this is just me, but I think there's a perception of what that is that probably isn't accurate. Like, do you think that people have maybe the wrong idea about what Christian rap is? Because I'm sure I do.
Yeah. Like everyone has their foretake with Christian rap on what they think about it, what their ideas about it. Like, I think everyone thinks, oh, Christian rap is all about like the Bible and everything. All it has to talk about it doesn't really. Like how I'm pursuing Christian rap, Christian hip hop for me is like maybe mention 1 or 2 words about God and maybe Jesus in it. But relatively speaking, I'm not going to do crazy amount of verses in the Bible and everything. Maybe talk about my life experience with God the Odd song, but either way, it's still hip hop rap. Like you do see like say NF, like probably NF is the most huge, well-known Christian hip hop rap artist in the scene. And does he talk about a lot about the verse in the Bible? No, he doesn't. So that's basically kind of a reference for that as well.
Well, and I guess Winnipeg has a decent history of that style
Mhm.
too, because you have guys like Fresh IE who have, obviously made an international name for themselves doing Christian hip hop.
Yeah, totally. Like I just was well, I have a song coming out with him
Right.
when this comes out, of course. But yeah, I have a song with Fresh IE and everything. And it's kind of crazy how much made an impact in the scene also for Christian hip hop too, a little bit too. Like I saw he played with like 1,000 Foot Crunch, the Letter Black, I believe, Lacey Sternum back in the day and everything. And it's crazy how well mainstream even here in Winnipeg that we do have for Christian hip hop even.
Is there, I mean, again, as someone who's not, I definitely have listened to local rap for
Mhm.
20, 25 years more, maybe that, but Christian rap, no. And so is there a lot of crossover, you feel at this point between I guess you call the secular rap scene and then the
Mhm.
Christian rap scene?
It's starting to blend a little bit more. Like I'm probably the one to really, I think, blend it, I think, in this scene because I don't know much of like little rappers, little hip hop artists that are doing Christian hip hop rap that much actually. Like I think
Okay.
there's like myself and another person, and that's about it, like that are active, and then you have Fresh IE. And not very much. I'm trying to blend it as well with the scene and get some of those acts as well to perform with myself for shows as well. So I've been doing that as well.
Cool.
So literally, it's been fun.
What do you think? I mean, this future of music event. What is that? What does that mean to you? What the idea of getting involved in this and then kind of getting your name out there and your music out there to maybe a different audience?
It's very fun and very much excited for more people to check out my music, check out where I'm going with my music and music realm in a sense, and just in general to maybe get more fans to see what my music's all about and possibly make a new fan out of us, basically.
Are there artists that you feel like that you would be a good comparison to if someone is hearing about you for the first
Mhm.
time and wants to kind of get a grasp on where you're coming from musically?
Like locally or like non-locally?
Either or.
Either or. I would say for myself, I take inspiration from a lot of my music to like 12 a.m., The Weeknd, Always Never, like the more R&B kind of style hip hop in that for a sense. And then yeah.
One that's stuff. I mean, someone like The Weeknd, especially in Canada, is extremely popular, and in the States
Oh
too,
yeah.
obviously. What is Did you grow up listening to like more R&B tinged stuff?
Actually, no.
No.
Surprisingly for myself, I grew up with rock, pop, and then metal. So like my
Okay.
big influences for that kind of stuff would be like Breaking Benjamin, Nickelback. I'm trying to think what else. There's a bunch of artists and everything.
So why hip hop then? I mean, if that was
No.
kind of the stuff that you grew up on, what led you this way?
For me, it's like I led to this way because I'm not musically inclined with like a guitar or a bass and everything. So hip hop was my go-to direction for that because hey, you just need a mic, you just need probably a decent computer, a decent system, and maybe if you could rhyme a little bit, boom, you can make yourself a music career out of it. So that's basically why I went that route. Maybe in the future, I've talked to a bunch of people in the scene. They're like, hey, you should actually make a band out of this. Possibly in the future, I could, but we'll see right now.
Well, now that the pandemic is presumably over. I mean, things have eased
Mhm.
up as far as shows being able to happen, and it's a lot more open than it was even a year ago. What is sort of your goal for 2023 as an artist? What are you hoping to accomplish this year?
2023 for myself is just get my name out more in this local scene and just get more engagement in myself with social media as well, and possibly do a couple shows with possible local artists and everything. Just in general, enjoy myself for as what we have in store for 2023 for music scene in general.
And where can people find your stuff if someone wants to listen to you and hear what you have out at the time this comes out, or a year from now when they discover this podcast, well after the fact? What's the best way to track you down online?
Totally. So right now on Instagram, it's official Eagle Owl, and for Twitter, Eagle Owl 124, and for all music platforms, you can check me out on Eagle Owl as well. I stream on Twitch on the side on Eagle Owl HD. So check me out there if you guys like hip hop, rap, R&B kind of style, maybe dark pop-ish, and yeah.
And then before I let you go, the name Eagle Owl. The reason I'm curious about the name is because I don't know if you're aware of this, but there, I guess maybe 5, 6 years ago, there was a local kind of indie pop band
Mhm.
called Eagle Lake Owls. So
Oh,
when I first heard
yeah.
that you were your name appeared, wherever I saw it first, I was like, oh, this is weird? Is this somehow connected to Eagle Lake? It's not, obviously, but what
No.
is the significance behind the name for you?
So significance, everyone asks me, well, what's the significance? I love owls. I'm a big owl fanatic. So I'm a diehard person that loves owls. My favorite animal is an owl. So I know so much facts, little bitty stuff about them. And my favorite owl would be the eagle owl. So it's terrible for SEO, but I don't care about that. It's the matter of it's my favorite bird, making an animal. And also there is like a UK band, I believe, called Eagle Owl as well, but they're not active anymore. So it's like, okay, perfect. No one's using it. Why not myself use it? So get a little bit more appreciation towards owls, and I think in the world I see, because a lot of people are actually afraid of owls that I know of, which is weird.
That is weird.
I know,
But
right?
it's a good reason. Good reason for
Yeah.
the name for sure.
So my name is TommyPhyll. I make Afro DM. That's like a subgenre of Afrofusion. I created the name myself. It involves it's a blend of Afrobeat percussions with the 80s synth pop elements and traditional orchestral compositions. I started making music in 2018 professionally. Been producing since I was 17, but like I decided to start putting out music, professionally in 2018. And it's been an uphill climb from there. I came to Canada as an international student at the University of Manitoba studying global political economics. So trying to balance music with school had always been like it was a challenge for a while, but I just graduated last year, and then since then it's been like music full time.
Cool, cool. Well, congratulations on graduating.
Thank
What
you.
was it like for you to sort of get into the local music scene here? Because I mean, Winnipeg has such a long history of music in all different kinds of genres, and there's every day I hear about new artists making music and coming up with new sounds and things. Did you find it easy to sort of find your place within the local scene, or did it take a bit of work to determine who was
Honestly,
who and what was what?
it took a bit of work, but I can't go without like mentioning Manitoba music when it comes to uh almost like finding my footing in the local music scene here. Because back in 2018 when I started, I was literally just in like my college dorm room, and it's like, okay, so what are the music organizations in Manitoba? How do I start? Like I was just looking for some structure within the industry. And then I saw Manitoba Music put out this ad for a mentorship program,
Okay,
and that was like a program that's involved like teaching about music business, the marketing, the promotion, show organizing, ticket selling. Like it was the whole thing from making music to promoting and performing the music. So I signed up for the mentorship program and I got in. So when I got into the mentorship program, that was when like they took us around, they showed us like the different locations. We eventually had to put like myself and a bunch of other great artists like Tuva Bergstrom and so many others. We literally had to put together a show at the end of the entire program at the Park Theater.
oh cool.
So immediately that happened, it was significantly easier to start getting like more shows in the city because Manitoba Music then had a bunch of open mic nights. And honestly, it's been an uphill climb from there.
Do you find that now that you've been here for a few years and you've developed your music and then you've sort of got more into it, especially since you're done school now,
Yeah.
do you feel that anything from the local music scene has influenced what you're doing now? Like, have you kind of absorbed some of the sounds that are happening around Manitoba, and does that influence your own work?
Oh yeah. So the thing is like I'm always listening when it comes to like creating my own music because I don't believe that you can create in a bubble. Like, sometimes when I'm riding the bus, going like back and forth from work, or even when I was still in school and stuff, I try my best to listen to what was playing on the radio. I like folk music a lot, folk and country music. So every now and then, like I'm always keeping an eye out or an ear out, if anything, for the new sounds that are coming up in that department. And then my experience as a whole as a Winnipegger. I guess I could call myself that
Yeah, you are
now.
now. Yeah, yeah.
But like, my experience as a whole, the city, the people, the food, You know, it's influenced a lot, especially like my songwriting, my composition, and even the type of artists that I'm looking to work with in the future as well.
Well, it's interesting you say that about folk and country music, because I think on first listen people might not assume that that's something that you're into just based on your sound. But what is it that draws you to that stuff? Is it the songwriting? Is it the like the
It
lyrics and the
is.
yeah?
It is. It's the songwriter. There's something about it that just feels very, I don't want to sound like use the most cliche term, but like sounds very down to earth. And where I'm from, like Nigeria, we use song to tell a lot of stories.
Right.
So folklore, right? We would tell stories through the music and even long before we had them being recorded. So coming here and listening to like folk music and also now hearing stories about everyday people's experiences about what it's like living on the prairies or in a farm or somewhere, or just being a normal like person, it's fun for me. And I feel like the music, that kind of music also lets you know who the artist really is,
For sure.
because there's a lot of like for lack of better word now, but there's like a lot of soul and emotion that goes into that style of songwriting. I mean, it goes into all sorts of songwriting, but that particular style, there's just something I love about it. It's very
Uh,
simple and
I know what
easy.
you mean. There's an honesty to it, right? There's a
Yes,
genuineness.
exactly. That's the word. Yeah, yeah.
So this event that's happening, the Future of Music event, what does it mean to you to be involved in something like this, as far as getting your music out there and getting your name out there to bigger audiences?
Honestly, it's a very big it's a big blessing. That's what I'm gonna call it, because I'm not even the one who reached out to Ezoman regarding the competition, like the program. He reached out, he let me know. And I also see like as a big honor to be considered for a program like this, because again, it shows the diversity in the music community here in Winnipeg. And I know like major cities all over Canada are always saying, oh yeah, we have a better music scene, we have a better music scene. But the one thing I can say is that Winnipeg does have a thriving music scene, and it's events like this that make it what it is, and I'm just grateful to be a part of it.
So if people are hearing you for the first time on here and they want to check out your music, what's the best way to find you online and see what you're up
So
to?
I'm everywhere, on all streaming platforms. Like I don't even discriminate at all. Like whatever streaming platform you can think of, my music is on there. So you just have to search TommyPhyll. That's TommyPhyll, and you find everything you need. Even if you Google me, you find it. Yeah, I'm Googleable now.
All
Right
right.
on, right on.
What's up, everybody? My name is Jeremy or Lil Yardii, whatever you want to call me. I'm 23. I'm from Winnipeg, and I make music, kind of like Kid Leroy, and I'm also in a band. So that's a little bit about me and my music. And yeah, there you go.
So what kind of band are you in? Like you have these. It seems like you have kind of two very different
Right.
projects on the go here.
So the band is called Avenue 46. I started that years ago, 2017, 18, and then it started getting more serious in 2019. And I've stuck with that ever since. It's just more like Green Day, like pop punk kind of rock music. Just fun. That's all it is. Pure passion, fun. I've been doing that. And then a couple years ago, after my brother passed, that's what really kind of made me want to start doing the Lil Yardii stuff and making more personal songs and stuff like that. But that's about it. Yeah, I just got Lil Yardii and then Avenue 46.
Do you feel like when you're dealing with personal stuff like that and kind of getting that message and that information across and those I guess emotions across, do you feel that what you do with Lil Yardii is more sort of a better fit for that kind of emotional release?
For sure. That's a great question. I love this question. The thing is that I kind of just everything happened naturally. So after my brother passed away, which was a overdose because he was addicted to drugs and being a drug dealer and all that stuff. And before we even get into that, I already knew that was going to happen. I was not prepared, but I was aware it was going to happen. And after it did, you think you know what you're going to do. You think you're prepared, and then you're not. So I put it all into music. I didn't want to go to therapy. I didn't want to go start taking prescriptions or drinking or doing anything stupid. I just wanted to fucking pour it out and get it all out. So yeah, it just happened that way. But with that question, it's a great question because now it's been 2 years, so I'm able to really like now I'm going to start writing about it in the band stuff. So for example, we are recording new music with Avenue, and I'm finally pouring my heart out about my brother into rock songs because I found it with the hip hop stuff. It just made certain songs like Sad Chaser or like Ease My Mind, stuff like that. It just wrote itself because I think my brother has a lot to do with it, upstairs looking down, helping out, that kind of thing. Um, but yeah, at the end of the day, I can't really pick a genre to want to go with writing about my brother. I think the Lil Yardii stuff is awesome and it's fun and it's honestly, I feel like I could just do it with both because people like different music, right? So, and it's
sure,
all
yeah,
from here.
yeah.
That's what matters.
Well, and
so.
you're clearly not expected to pigeonhole yourself into one thing or another. I guess what was sort of your what were you listening to growing up? Like, were both of those genres kind of heavy in what you were influenced by?
Yeah, it was a lot of Green Day. When I was 4 years old, my sister, she got me hooked on Green Day. She's my older sister. It was like Bullet in a Bible, American Idiot era, 2004, 2005. And then as I got older, I wasn't huge into rap, but my brother always loved rap, and he always loved like drill music, Eminem, just everything for the most part. But he got me hooked into certain like one or two rap songs. I start getting guilty pleasure. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I like this. But once Juice WRLD came around, that's when I really fell in love because people are trying to say MGK is like pop punk and rap and this and that, but I think Juice WRLD is actually a rock star. Like if you listen to his some of his rap songs, I mean, they're melodic and he's got structured flow and stuff. It's not just talking shit or whatever. But I think Juice WRLD was the hugest influence for me. I just think a lot of people like Juice WRLD. He can make a trappy song, he can make a melodic song, but he has a lot of that. Like he said, like he grew up listening to rock and stuff because his mom wouldn't let him listen to rap and stuff. So I think him having that going into his rap, I think it really, helped guys like me fall in love with rap music and hip hop. And now hip hop is crazy. It's like you can either have auto tune on it, you can have it's just there's a variety now. It's not just one genre. It's amazing. So shout out to Juice WRLD, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think that things have opened up a lot as far as partially because of the internet too. As far as people are able to just absorb so much stuff, and things aren't as. I mean, I'm 40, so when I grew up, the hip hop was very much a certain style of hip hop. There was little subgenres within there, but it was very much a certain thing. And it seems like now everything is kind of all the lines are blurred between genres, and it's not unusual to have someone who is playing hip hop and punk rock and emo and anything else and just mashing it all together.
Well, especially artists like Youngblood, like he's doing crazy stuff. And like I said, MGK and whatever. I mean, even people like XXXTentacion, he wasn't necessarily pop punk, but he had a good ear for acoustic guitar and real music and message. And that's all it's all about. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this event on the May 25th, I believe. It's gonna be.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you what does being part of this mean to you? Like, I mean, how is this gonna help you as an upcoming artist?
This is huge to me. So I actually followed the whole Future of Music last year because my good friend of mine, shout out Vital, fucking love Vital. He's one of the most talented rappers I've ever heard. Regardless of Winnipeg, he's just insane. So shout out to Vital. I saw him win it last year, and I just thought it was so cool. Like, and it was I could tell by the beginning of when it was going on. It was like they called it Future of Music, like YOU. Yeah. It's for the artists. It's for the artists. It's not for. Nobody's asked me to pay a fee to sign up. Nobody's asked me. It was, Ezoman called me up. He hit me up. He said, I like your music. I think you've got great potential. And he was super just praising me and my work, which was awesome. And he just wanted me to be a part of it. And being like I say, an audience member, witness to it last year, I'm still shaking, man. I'm so excited. And I just can't wait to get on the stage. And what does it mean to me? It's huge. It's huge because it's just, for me, it's not about money. It's not about even making it as an artist or making it famous. I just want to push the message. And when people meet me, they always say, "Oh, you're so positive, and how do you stay that way?" It's just, I don't know. It's just being yourself, being a human every day. Push it. It's hard to not let real stuff get to you. But personally, I've just found the more real stuff that hits you, if you're able to tackle it and deal with stuff or whatever, it just makes you a better person, right? So at the end of the day, I'm just excited to get on the stage and have fun and just jump around and sing my original music and not no covers. Like, that's cool. And I'm proud of my music for the most part. Shout out to Stanton, my producer. If it weren't for him, I would not be able to put out the quality and all that. Sorry if my phone just rang there.
It's all good.
But yeah, shout out to Stanton. If it weren't for him being my producer and us going to his actual personal house, he doesn't even live in Winnipeg. So, and he discovered me more or less. He hit me up on Instagram and said same thing that Ezoman said. I think you have potential. What are you using to make your songs? I said, I'm using my phone. He's like, "Hey, let's have a session, see where it goes." And now we're like brothers. So you know,
Very
things do
cool.
happen for a reason. I'll get on that stage and I'll do my thing as best I can. And even if I don't win, I'm just excited to meet everybody. And like I say, it's about for the people. It's just meeting people, having fun. I got to be as humble as I can be, man. I don't care about money because I'm lucky to have a house or just be where I'm at in life, right? So that's what it's about.
If someone is hearing about you for the first time and wants to check out your music, and not only just hear the music, but find out what you're up to as far as potential future shows and things like that, what's the best way to find you online?
Well, we got Lil Yardii as my Instagram, LILYARDII. Quick side note, my name is Lil Yardii because people always say, you know, you trying to link up today, and people say Yardii know, or as an already know. So Yardii know or whatever it is. So I took that and made it Yardii. But yeah, Lil Yardii on everything. Or if you want to link up with my band, we're at Official Avenue 46. And then through that, the band, you could find all of us. So that's the best way. Just Instagram. The same name, of course, is on Spotify, YouTube, Lil Yardii everywhere, Avenue 46 everywhere. And thank you guys. Thank you, Witchpolice Radio. Love Winnipeg. And this is just an awesome opportunity. And I'm super excited to get on stage and hopefully kill it. We'll see. That's for sure.